And it's that time again. Welcome to CramTime. Welcome to another video. Today, we'll be discussing how to solve absolute value equations. This is CramTime, so feel free to set this video to 1.5 or 2 times speed. That being said, let's hop right into it. As I'm sure many of you have learned before, absolute value is simply the positive distance between a number from 0. So for example, if I had the number 5, its absolute value would be 5, as it is 5 units away from 0. But similarly, if I had negative 2, its absolute value would be 2, because it is 2 units away from 0, regardless of whether it's a negative or positive distance away from 0. It's simply the units away it is from 0, and that's just 1, 2. Now that we've got the foundations out of the way, let's focus on the task at hand, solving an absolute value equation. Now, what we need to understand is, based on this previous part of this video, we understand that an absolute value does not care about whether the number inserted between the absolute value is positive or negative, which leads us to the understanding that we must account for two possible solutions, one that is positive and one that is negative, when we are solving for absolute value equations. And how you account for this is simply by creating the same equation, but setting it equal to a negative version of the other answer. So where we had the absolute value of x equals 3, we also create a dual equation, absolute value of x equals negative 3. This accounts for the both positive or negative aspects that an equation can represent. That being said, we can go ahead and solve now. So now that we've made them dual equations, we can get rid of these absolute value parameters, and we have our answer, x equals 3 or x equals negative 3, because both of them work. If you plug them into the absolute value of x equals 3, you plug in a 3 here, and you get that equals 3, or if you put in a negative 3, that also equals 3. Now we can go ahead and do a slightly more difficult example. So here we have the absolute value of 2x plus 9 equals 27. Now it's important to understand that the positive or negative dual aspect of an absolute value equation is not necessarily going to be the same number, because it depends on the term within the parameters of the absolute value, not specifically on the x. So that being said, now we're going to make our dual equation, which is 2x plus 9 equals negative 27. I'm going to get rid of these absolute value parameters, and now we're just going to go ahead and solve. So 2x is equal to 16, and then 2x equals 18, divided by 2, x equals 9, or 2x is equal to negative 36, divided by 2, x is equal to negative 18. So x could be equal to 9 or equal to negative 18. And this is due to the absolute value terms not taking into account whether a term is positive or negative, rather the distance from the term. So again, you can plug it back into the original equation. You plug in x equals 9, and you get 18 plus 9 is 27. Absolute value of 27 is 27. And you plug in negative 18 into this same equation, and you get negative 36 plus 9, which equals negative 27. The absolute value of that is also 27. That concludes this video on solving absolute value equations. If you're currently cramming for a test, click on the correlating playlist in the description. If this video and channel were of value to you, hit that subscribe button and like the video. We'd love to hear your video requests or anything else in the comments below. Thank you for your support, and stay safe.